plan to replace all 435 members of the United States House of Representatives and we can make this happen next year, but we need 500,000 people across all of America to get together. Here's how we're going to do it. We've got our website, thisgo.com. We want you and every person in America to go to that website and document how you personally would vote if you were in office. We have 100 questions. Are you for or against every key issue of the day? There's no right or wrong answer. You don't need anyone to tell you how to vote. You go vote and record your answers. Once you've done that, you're going to sign a legally binding agreement that says if we send you to Washington, you'll vote the way you said you would. Seems pretty simple. Now, once we get to 500,000 members, and that's the key number, we're going to randomly sort all of the participants into pools of 10 within your congressional district. And in each pool of 10, you're going to sit down and choose 2 people to represent you. You're going to look at the answers, personality, communication skills, what you've accomplished in life. Whatever you choose to look at, you're going to choose 2 people. And those 2 people will advance, and the next weekend you'll have new but fewer pools of 10, and they'll choose 2. And the process will repeat 4 or 5 weekends until one person rises to the top of the system. And we will have 435 citizen representatives ready to go to Washington to serve us. Now, we know the parties have lots of money, and that's going to be a challenge. But my wife and I have been blessed. Listen to this, you never hear this in politics. We do not want or need money. We built the system, and we're now looking for folks to join us to get 500,000 people. Once we get to 500,000 members, then and only then, we'll all look at each other and say, are you willing to put $100 in? And at that point, we'll collect $50 million, and we'll begin marketing and promoting Go, and we'll get 5 million and then 50 million people on board with us. TV over and over and again. It's a very simple ad, and it's going like this. America, you can continue to vote for career politicians, red or blue, like you've always done, and we'll get the same results we've always received. Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity was doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Yeah. Or now, for the first time in your life, you can vote for a true citizen representative who's documented their view on every key issue of the day, signed a legally binding agreement that said they would vote exactly the way they said they would. They've been chosen by their peers. They've not accepted a penny from any special interest group. They're not beholden to any party, and they're not a career politician. Who do you want to vote for? Now, I'm told all the time that this can't work, that we can't get to 500,000 people or we can't get on the ballot.
Yes, we can!
I don't know if I want to use that phrase. But if you hear people tell you that, just stop them mid-sentence. As soon as somebody says, I can't, you're right, you can't. But get the heck out of my way. We're going to go and we're going to make this happen. We can do it. Say a third party will never work. But this is unlike any third party you've ever seen. This is not Ross Perot and some VP Stockdale, right? We're all kind of chuckling about that one still, that's trying to win the highest office in the land. This is a group of concerned citizens, you and I, they're going to elect true citizen representatives. This is a third party unlike any ever known. It's a party without a platform. It is purely nonpartisan. We have the one plank in the platform, and that's term limits. Every person that participates in Go must agree to term limits. And beyond that, it's up to this question. The way you answer, the way you said you'd vote, and will your people choose you and send you to Washington to represent us? We're confident that when we get 500,000 people together, this will work. There's no reason it should not. You guys remember the movie Field of Dreams? Yes. And you remember the line, if we build it, they will come. My calling in life, my purpose in life has been to build this system. I'm absolutely convinced of that. And I've done my part. And now we're looking for the modern day incarnations of Madison and Franklin and Jefferson to step out of those proverbial cornfields, get in with Go, and go to Washington, and let's get this country back on track. One thing is, of course, all to rally and talk and march and build signs and do all that. But as Joe and Matt and others have said, that is not enough. It's time to do more. Mark Twain said, "In the beginning of change, the patriot is a scarce man, brave and hated and scorned. When his cause succeed, the timid will join." Folks, we have no room and no time for the timid any longer. We need you folks to step forward. This is the home of the brave. We can do this, and we're going to do this. You have to think about guys like Jason Dunham, right, the Marine over in Iraq. He jumps on a grenade and gives his life, not just to save the troops that are right there with him, but for freedom. Think about what that young man gave. All the others that have done that as well. In 1776, Samuel Adams said, and I think this is perhaps the greatest quote of all time, "If ever a time should come when vain and aspiring men shall possess the highest seats in our government, our country will stand in need of its experienced patriots to prevent its ruin." Folks, do you agree that vain and aspiring men have taken the highest seats in our government? Do you agree that it's our responsibility, that we are the experienced patriots? And do you agree that the time has come? We can no longer wait for somebody else to do what needs to be done. Think about this. 20, 30 years from now, you're going to be sitting on your back porch, and you're going to have one or two things to explain. Either the greatest country the world has ever known is now just another because we did not act, or we're going to sit there with pride and tell our grandkids that we did what needed to be done to retake control of our government. Which one's it going to be? Now let me leave you with this thought. I am absolutely convinced 100 years from now, our history books are going to tell the story of the Go Revolution. And I believe that I've been called to build a system and deliver this message. And the reason I'm traveling here, and I'll be in Austin, Texas tomorrow night, and Dallas, Texas the next night, and in Lexington and Knoxville, and I don't know where else I'm going. It's all over. Atlanta and Richmond and folks, it is time to get involved. When you go home tonight, I hope that you will join this Go system. But then more importantly, you'll get your little phone out or your black book, and you will start calling every person you know and telling them that they have to get involved. Right now, all we need is an email address. Nothing more. Once we get to 500,000, and that day's coming very soon, then we'll figure out, do we want to fund this, and are we going to make it happen or not? So 100 years from now, when the history books do write this story of the Go Revolution, are you going to have a part in it? You are being called right here, right now. I don't know if it's your God, if it's your country, if it's just the legacy you're meant to leave behind. But listen, feel it. When you put your head on the pillow tonight, think about it. What is your calling? What is your purpose in life? Are you going to get involved? Are you going to help us go retake control of our country? I hope you will. Thanks for having me.